And good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Holotheatre. As always, you got me, Dan Tartaglione. Tonight we got Garrett as our special guest again. Why not? We got Garrett from here until infinity, being that Nationals is 2 weeks away.
Yep, and in my backyard. I mean,
And in
not
your
exactly
backyard,
my backyard, but
you're doing the stuff. So why not have you on as many times as we can? And I know he's not here on video. That's mostly because he's cooking some wonderful food and he doesn't want to make everybody jealous. But we have the sheriff on speaker, I think.
Yep, that's me. Hey, howdy, hey, y'all.
So we got the Batmouse on speaker. We got Garrett. It's going to be a fun episode. We got something new for everybody tonight. I figure these are two of the more interesting people, so they graciously came on to help us start it up. But first thing, let's go and get into some of the happenings, all the intro, the fun stuff that's going on in Star Wars CCG land right now. So first things first, again, Nationals, we just brought it up. Tomorrow is the last day to pre-register. Tomorrow. Last day to pre-register.
pre-register, guys.
Pre-register.
Yeah, like you can't have more fun than Nationals that weekend.
I can think of a few things.
Well, I can think of a few things that and none of them are actually happening that weekend. So Garrett might be completely right. You can't have more fun than that weekend.
I was going to say making fun of Batmouse, but that's besides the point.
I mean, but can you imagine more fun than making fun of Batmouse in a room with 30 other people
Who
just
will make
helping
fun
and
of
egging you
Batmouse.
on?
Yeah.
Like, that's the best part of Nationals is hanging out with everybody.
You're not wrong. So again, Nationals. Right now we're sitting at 19 people. As you can see right here, we got a few big name people. Jeff Levine just recently signed up. Looks like he's going to be playing in the main event only. Cal Aldred signed up recently as well. So we do have one representative from California coming in. Schoenthal's going to Schoenthal. He just liked us. Looks like he subscribed at tier 1 just recently. Rentable Papa. He should be on the list. Who are you, Rentable Papa? And then again, if you're looking to go sign up, pre-register, that's the important thing, because you know what you get for pre-registering? You get a foil Din Djarin. You get some of the excess slips. You get the tri-bit screwdriver keychain. I want that. Oh, Dennis! Glad to see that you signed up and that you're already signed up and everything. I'm also glad to hear that they're not very dejected on the fact that you let Batmouse beat you.
Well, he wants revenge. He's hoping Batmouse comes out.
Yeah.
Batmouse being able to swing potentially Nationals. I am tracking it. It is thing right now. It's a matter of flight.
Give us like a percentage. Like how in are you, Batmouse?
If I can get my flights covered in points, which I think I'm like 4,000 points away right now, I'm 100% in.
Okay, people, send your points to Batmouse. This is one time the points actually matter.
Yep. You can't convince them to take some Gemp gold and.
I really wish I could just be like, hey, you guys want some foiled LSJKs on Gemp? I can take care of that for you.
Now
I know a guy.
Yeah. Now for me, I would love to be there. Like, especially if Batmouse is going to be there. Right now, I'm just still waiting on Joe Olson to call up to my boss and be like, I know that Dan just started like a little over a month ago, but can he go play Star Wars cards with his friends? Well, I won't go play because I still don't know what to play, but I would actually go do commentary.
Well, cards would be what you would play, I think.
No, I'd go to commentary.
I mean, I
you
think
said
today
what
we're
you
going to
play.
talk about what you should play.
Yeah. But first things first, pre-register. Get on it, people. Get yourself one of those cool screwdrivers. Garrett, you got to send me one.
I don't. I mean, I'm only getting one. That's.
You're not even
I'm not giving
pre-registered.
that up. That's because I'm running stuff.
Oh,
I'm gonna be Show and Tell's right hand man.
okay.
There you
His, I'll be his girl Friday. So running around taking care of everything.
You'll be the prettiest girl at the ball.
If you were an ascot, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I don't
wanna
even
see
know
it
what an
happen.
ascot is, but if somebody provides one, I'll
neckerchief.
wear it.
The neckerchief.
You know, Fred from Scooby Doo.
Okay. That's so a tie, or is it something different than a tie?
It's
Y'all are
something
gonna
different.
you have to. Okay. Well,
It's,
I own
it's
ties.
like a bandana. It's like a bandana, not a tie.
All right.
And then
Sorry, I'm not that fancy.
you will be.
So.
And then, okay, tomorrow, again, is the last day to do your donation program. This donation year has been lit, as the kids say today. I mean, you got 6 deck boxes to choose from. We all know that people love these. Batmouse, did you donate?
No, I'm actually going to do that tonight. I've actually got my funds set aside and ready to go.
How many deck
And,
boxes are you going to get?
I'm only going to get one. I kind of really want the Boba Fett, but I feel like everybody's gotten the Boba Fett.
Well, I hear that there's a rumor on the rumor mill that a Mr. Jared Napolitano has greased the wheels and got more Boba Fett boxes. But you know, if you send over enough to get one, you get 2 boxes.
Ooh, okay.
So make sure you guys donate. Get your deck boxes. These things are probably the coolest thing that Jared has ever done for the PC. I have to put that in there.
As someone who has a full set of the OTSD and Jabba's Palace boxes, like that was one of the first things I picked up when I came back from retirement because I realized I still had most of them. The new boxes are so much better. They really do just blow them away.
I still need to get the OTS boxes. I have 3.
I think I'm at 3.
But
I played a lot of OTSDs back in the day. So, and I kept my boxes.
All of mine are.
All yours are what, Batmouse?
All of mine are boxes that I've come across after coming to the game in 2009. So there's no original collection for Batmouse because Batmouse didn't play until 2009.
I've got my original Vader, Luke, and Bib Fortuna. That's it.
I feel bad because when I sold all my cards, one of the boxes I put them in that went to Jake Nelson was my Luke Skywalker box with the pre-release OTSD sticker on it.
Oh.
So it was pretty
that's a
hammered
bad
because I
moment.
used that box forever, but
Yeah.
that I remember driving down to Iowa to play in that many years ago.
Before a lot of us were even born.
Probably.
Okay.
Definitely before a couple members of Killer Bees were born, right?
Easily. Logan and AJ? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But speaking of the Killer Bees and Batmouse, the 7th annual Batmouse's 7th annual Gen PC is officially into its top 8. Your top 8 are Joe Olsen, Kieran Fergut, Mike Kessling, Greg Shaw, Connor Britton, Charlie Arlinson, and Tom Struther.
I think you missed one.
Who did I miss?
Oh, that'd be me. I made the top 8, right?
I think you did. I think you did.
I think you did. Despite your best
Crazy.
efforts at throwing guys at the Death Star Chasm to get murdered, you got in there.
Well, I mean, I was sitting there with the gift, so like I kind of wanted to use it at least once, right?
Oh, but
we
yes.
knew. I mean, we talked about that as you're doing it. It was just why tempt it? Like, you just needed to drain.
You tempted fate. You tempted fate. You became Anthony Michael Batmouse from now on. and I really wanted Dennis to just. How do I put this nicely? Teach you a lesson for getting your hand caught in the cookie jar. I think that's how I put it on the stream.
I'm pretty sure that is how you put it. The problem with that though is that I was already like 12 cards ahead, so it wasn't like I was gonna get my hand that caught in the cookie jar.
It doesn't matter.
Even if I got caught in a beatdown there, I was still so far ahead at that point that it wouldn't matter.
Okay.
You say that like we weren't watching the game.
Yeah.
Like, we knew what was happening. We saw it too. It was just why are you taking any sort of risk that he could do something when you could just quietly sit and drain him out and call it a day?
Yeah. Or you could have drew up at one point.
I could have, but I like to tempt my scoundrel's luck.
Yes. It's like I could have, but it was more fun to just twist that knife a little bit more. I see where you're going.
And you know what? Here's the best part. Dennis is in the chat. So you're just making him feel so more dejected about himself because of what you're saying, Batmouse.
Batmouse is setting up a villain arc for Dennis right now.
No, yeah, you're the villain. I think everyone knew that.
I didn't say I wasn't.
So now Tom and Charlie have already played their first game. Tom ended up winning that by 11. However, there was a little bit of a controversy. We're still waiting on a ruling from our tournament committee. Dennis is saying that he teched for your weirdness, and for the first time he saw you actually play good decks.
Yeah, no, it was super weird, right?
Yeah.
It felt a little dirty to me. I'll be honest. It felt a little. A little dirty to be playing like a solid deck. It burned me nearly the entire time I was testing that deck.
My question is, do we know that you were the one who played your games?
Oh yeah, I 100% play my games.
Okay. The only reason I'm asking is because you did play good decks, but you did get you showed your cockiness with the Chasm Walkway.
Well, that's how you know it's Batmouse. Like, I mean, I need to try to make it interesting.
Touche. So we're waiting to hear when I believe Joe and Kieran are going to be playing this Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern. I do think that Jared is going to be. He offered up his services to stream the games. We're still waiting to hear from Mike and Greg, Connor and Batmouse when they're going to be playing their matches. And then again, when we hear from Charlie and Tom when they're going to be playing game 2, we'll let you guys know. We will be streaming as many of the games as we can. And all these games will be streamed on the Twitch site, so make sure you guys stay tuned to Twitch. Follow up on the forums and follow up on Slack, Discord, and Facebook as well. Oh, and Twitter. I always forget about Twitter, even though James is doing a marvelous job with it.
Love Twitter. I love our Instagram. All those are good things, especially when I get to share like great posts.
Our whole social media team just does an awesome job of
crushing
putting everything together. We have such amazing volunteers. Everybody does such a heck of a job.
Agreed.
Speaking of volunteers, let's go ahead and check up on the OCS. No surprise, Tom still sitting at 11-1 right now. He did get in last month, so Congrats to Tom. Connor is sitting at 9-3, followed by Matt Harrison Trainer sitting at 8-3. But don't look now. Jeff Levine, who's signed up for Nationals, is sitting at 8-0. So Jeff has a decent shot at making it this month. Looking on down the line, though, Stimpy. Oh man, I know who he is. I can't remember his name. I remember the face.
Bill.
Not Bill.
Pittman?
Bill Pittman. Bill Pittman. I almost said Bill Pullman, but I'm like, he was the president. Lawrence Kraft also is 4-0. And then, hey, Garrett, you're 3-0.
I am. I haven't lost yet, so I haven't started playing stupid decks.
I was going to say,
he hasn't listened to Batmouse.
Are we sure that you're playing your games?
I am.
Okay.
So, like I said, I usually do good, and then I start doing something stupid, and like I lose a game, and then I start playing bad.
That's fair.
So, once I start playing bad, then I'll finally, then I'll fall back to my, my normal spot. But right now, I'm still playing okay, so we're playing good decks and hoping.
And then the VSET 21 release party that goes until April 10th is going strong. Tom sitting in first place at 10-2. Timo Dussel sitting there also at 10-2. And then Greg Shaw, Matt Thornton, and Garrett all finished all their 12 games as well. We do have a few players sitting there at 6-0. And we got some players sitting at 5-0. Batmouse only has 5 of his games played, so
I'm 3-2.
You're 3-2. I'm 2-4. I've been playing.
I can scrub up.
I've only been playing Obi-Wan Commuting. Like I played light side just because.
I lost a couple games and then just completely started playing goof fun decks and called it a day.
That's the way to do it. But that's all we got in the world of news regarding Star Wars CCG. So I think it's time we get into our new topic, guys. So I believe it was you who introduced this idea, Garrett. So why don't you talk a little bit about the idea that you had, what we're doing for tonight's show?
You're going to have to remind me because my computer decided it needed to update, so I don't have the theme right in front of me.
Over, under, and properly rated. So like a top stuff like. So we're going to be talking about the meta. And where decks are, where they stand. Kind of like a top 8, but that's more what Batmouse and Kendall do. We don't really want to copy them.
Stay away from my shtick.
Trust me, nobody wants to invade your shtick. Your shtick is you play Chasm and Abyss.
I do, and everybody knows it. And whether or not I'm actually playing it or not, I play Chasm and Abyss.
That's true.
Yeah, I think the idea was just kind of talk about, what we think might be overrated or underrated. So let's start us off. Give me and Batmouse some meat to argue about.
Okay, so we're going to start with light side, and probably one of the newer decks. I know a lot of people like it. It's almost a classic. You got some good stories with it from I don't know, the little Y-Wing that could. Let's talk about Prophet, and where do you guys think it stands right now after we got a gift V? So, Garrett, you're the guest. Let's start with you.
I don't think anyone's rating Prophet as a tier 1 deck yet. I think a gift might have helped it, but I'm not sure it moved into tier 1 with it. Mm-hmm. So, given that I haven't heard anyone say Prophet's tier 1, and I don't think Prophet's tier 1, I'm going to say it's fairly rated. I think it's a tier 2-ish deck. It can win games, but it definitely has some matchups that are popular that are going to give it trouble.
Okay.
Prophet, the max 3 damage there's only 4 locations they can go to, right? 4 or 5 locations they can go to anyway.
I mean,
I don't hate the cap. I mean, because you got Lando, Luke, Leia, Chewie, Han, right? 5 locations you can go to.
yeah.
So theoretically, you're giving up 2 max damage for just neutering Imperial Decree V.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you stack Luke in the middle site and set up strong offense on the other 2 sites, you can realistically max your 3 damage, drain, and then Han has a gun undercover. Your tier 2, I think, is underrated. I'd put it at 1.5, and creeping on tier 1, if you can figure out like how to give yourself free drains, I think you're pushing tier 1 at that point. I think the biggest issue is that you don't have free drains. Like you could even Jedi business that still, like you just you play Master Luke instead.
Okay.
So I don't again, what keeps it away from tier 1 for me is it not being able to have free drains currently. But that is, if you figure that out, I believe Prophet goes to tier 1. And you get Splash 5 retrieval that can't be messed with by secret plans. That's huge.
And don't get me wrong, like a gift V, it also protects Han a little bit more from weapons. Like that was a big issue, was your opponent just drops down a character with a lightsaber, initiates a fight, they have a gift, they hit Han, you're immediately flipped back. That kind of sucks. So, I mean, yes, there are cards that you can get him back, like Jedi Levitation,
Seeking Virtual.
Yes, Seeking Virtual. Like, there's ways to get him back and everything, but at the same time, like, having that protection is pretty good. And you have to hit, like, what is it, Luke, Lando, or Chewie? So, I mean, why not?
But he's still vulnerable to choke. He's still vulnerable to Force Lightning. Like,
set first time.
I think I think tier 1.5 is too high. Like I said, I think Prophet is solidly tier 2. I think it's a good tier 2. I think you'll see it at Nationals. But unless, I think Batmouse kind of hit it on the head, unless you can figure out a way to get your free drains going, you're going to struggle.
Like,
there's games you're going to struggle against.
Yeah. I would love to see a player who likes Prophet, like Jared, like a Matt Lutz, say what they think about it and where it stands right now in the meta. But I also think that they're going to keep that close to their chest, especially like Matt Lutz, who right now might play it at Nationals.
He's definitely pre-registered for Nationals. Actually,
He's definitely pre-registered. I mean,
his son is coming to play the Cube event on Friday and Constellation on Sunday, which
you're
is
making it like so
really awesome.
that I want to be there.
And I mean, Matt Lutz's kid was pretty cool. I met him. He came to Nationals last year and played in the team event with his dad, and he was legit. Like he could, he still had stuff to learn, but he played well.
Yeah.
So he'll don't sleep on him. Him and the Chew kids, and I mean, we got a whole new generation coming out.
Yeah. Batmouse, when are you going to teach your kids?
So my oldest is really into drama right now, and as such wants nothing to do with dad. They're 16. My youngest is about to join the wrestling team, and she's interested in the game. I think she's a little too ruthless, like for our community. Like the fact that I would constantly be waiting for her to throw a punch at someone and have to run over and handle that is probably the only thing keeping me from like really intensively teaching her how to play this game. And it's not even that, if somebody would beat her and she would throw a punch, it would be more take that, mother. and just throw a wild punch for no reason. My kid.
Now I
love her
want
to
your
death.
kid to play
Yeah,
more.
now I want your
I
kid to come
mean,
play.
this
Like,
that sounds like a party.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, definitely more fun than the Batmouse.
I am way more, the rage issue that my youngest child has now. I've put those behind me.
That's fair.
I don't have those rage issues anymore.
That's fair.
They haven't done the work to get rid of theirs yet.
Ooh,
So
excuse me.
that is why I'm doing it for all of you guys. I'm trying to keep all of you safe.
Oh,
And we
gosh.
appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, let's go on to deck number 2. Let's switch gears over to Darkside really quick, and I think we're going to go with Hunt Down V. Hunt Down V, again, got a little bit of a helper card recently with the Colonel Jendon Invader Shuttle. I mean, you can pull it with what Kendall says is the best docking bay in the game. I don't think so, but you can pull it with that card, and it gives you an extra, like it gives you an extra little drain up in space. Like, I know it's a little bit vulnerable, but it's a neat little card. So, Batmouse, let's start with you this turn.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of. So I have for all the rage issues and all that. I do have a deck called Hunt Down Virtual Face Punch,
Okay.
where it is aggressive and just wants to run around and punch you in the face all game long, and the ability to go open with a shuttle to the system if you're doing it right. Shuttle to the shuttle and to the system, and have Ozzel on that. You're already halfway to free drains in a deck that is hard to get free drains, and then you can work your way back around to the Emperor shuttle. You can work your way, to the Devastator. Let's give Darth Vader free drains, and oh, by the way, just for Darth Vader being able to stay alive, we're gonna allow you to drain for 2 of the system too. Seems fun. Tier 2, again, a good deck. Not there yet. Good deck though.
Okay.
I'll be honest, I'm not sure Jendon helped Hunt Down V that much. Like you're I think Batmouse is probably right on with its tier 2 because Hunt Down V's got decks that it's just going to destroy, and it matches up really well against, and it wants to battle you, and it's going to battle you hard and keep killing you. But like, space was always kind of its weakest point, and that shuttle just isn't strong enough to stand up to much in space, and it scares me to put it out early just to get jumped by something like an HCF. Hanchu and the Falcon V kind of wrecks your day. Like I think Hunt Down solidly tier 2. It's a deck that when you play it well, it plays well, and it plays well against some of the popular decks, and plays well against some of the kind of offshoot decks that are always floating around, like Echo Base Operations.
Okay.
Where it just you just lose. Like, I'll cancel all your drain bonuses. Good game. But it doesn't just have that oomph sometimes. And I'm not sure a shuttle that's just asking to get jumped is the helper it wanted to be. I think Hunt Down's in the same boat as Prophet, where if you can figure out holding space to drain for free, you're gonna do better. But I don't know if I think that shuttle gets you there.
Okay.
So I'll actually say it's slightly overrated. I think that shuttle, people tried to move it up, and I don't think that moved it up.
Yeah, I know that the new allies seem to like it. They seem to like to play it a decent amount. I think if you know how to play against it, it can be beat. you really only have to worry about 3 lightsabers. I mean, you have Vader's lightsaber, which, I mean, yes, he can come back with I am your father V. You have the Dark Jedi lightsaber V, and then you have probably a Mara Jade with lightsaber. So it's not that hard to deal with. I mean, yeah, the Inquisitors have pretty good game text, but it is beatable. And like you were saying, it's kind of weak in space. I mean, a lot of people just seem to play the Emperor and with the Emperor shuttle, so you can get 3 Destiny. Well, there's a lot of cards that get around that. You got the Sand Effect, you got Rebel Leadership, and like you were saying, the shuttle is not that solid. I mean, it has no protection, it has no immunity whatsoever. So I think you definitely gotta be very strategic where you play it. So I think it's a 1.5 into it too, but I definitely think like there's slightly better options for Dark Side right now. Okay, and let's go back to Light Side and let's talk about a type of a deck that got some help recently. Well, at least one of the types did. Obi-Wan Communing recently got itself a helper with I Can't Believe He's Gone V. What is your take on Communing right now? And let's start with Batmouse, because you played Communing in the Gem PC against Dennis. I think you played a Yoda Communing for recently.
I did play a Yoda Communing. Again, Batmouse playing serious decks is really weird and kind of scary to me. I don't like it. Everyone should be afraid. The world is coming to an end. No, Yoda Communing is good. Obi Communing is, there's a couple different ways you can do Obi Communing. And I really love them both. And I have to go. I'll be right back, guys.
Okay. Garrett,
well, Batmouse. Sure. Well, Batmouse goes to flip his Chilean sea bass, I believe it was. He was telling us about
meatballs, rice, and Chilean sea bass, and all this other yummy stuff.
I actually think Communing might be underrated, and I think the Obi Communing. I've played around with it some, and we've played around with some different deck types of it, and I've seen different deck types being played on Gemp. It's solid, and that the new I Can't Believe He's Gone really helped.
Yeah,
being able to always have that one force you need to add 3 or 5 to your power, or even to get around something like you didn't save force for a first strike beatdown. You're like, oh, okay, well, here, I'll activate one and do it. I mean, it's wiped them out, all of them, which has been in the meta in a lot of dark decks for a long time.
Yeah.
This is wipe them out, only better, because your activation's a little more limited, but the ability to add one to any Destiny is so good. I've been playing around with Obi Communing. I'm loving it. I love that there's a lot of different ways you can make it work. I've seen people trying it with speeders because you're adding 5 with Commander Luke. Commander Luke on a speeder drawing 2 Destiny and adding 5. That's a scary thing.
Yeah.
There's so much out there that I think Obi Communing and Yoda Communing are both very tier 1 decks, and I expect at Nationals Communing will be the most played lightsaber.
Interesting. Okay. So Batmouse,
like some version of it.
Yeah, Batmouse, you were saying before you had to go flip your Chilean sea bass.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Obi Communing, I really love Garrett made mention of the commander, the Commander Luke in the speeder getting an extra +3 now. That just makes me want to play stacks. Come fight me at Watto Junkyard, and then let's go ahead and add a bunch, and oh, why not play I Feel the Conflict at the same time, and just you lose a fight or you let loot drain for free.
Yeah.
Your choice. It's cool. Either one. Whichever one you want to do, bro. It's cool.
Okay. Um, yeah, I think communing is a little underrated. Like I know Yoda communing got a kind of a big hit after Worlds, and with the tweak set and everything, reducing the fact that you can only have a immune attrition less than 4, but you can still run like the same character bases. You can still pull Camino, set up like a decent space package. You can still run uh, Luke Skywalker, The Last Jedi. You can run Mace Windu. You can run Qui-Gon, Serene Jedi, who is still really good. You can run your Master Lukes. But I agree. Like and Obi-Wan commuting is just fun. Like you were saying about the speeders. The speeders is a cool idea. Matt Carulli played around with rocks, having aim high on the field, throwing 2 rocks, hitting a guy, causing insane power swings. And this was like last year. Like, definitely, I mean, Matt was way ahead of his time. So props to him. So yeah, I think I agree that I think commuting is going to be like the hotness for nationals. I just find it funny that Qui-Gon commuting, which like 2 years ago when it first came out was the deck that people played, you're not seeing it anymore. Like,
Yeah, and that's what always scares me is when you don't see a deck. Why are you not seeing it? Are you not seeing it because it's not good, or are you not seeing it because people want to keep it quiet?
mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't think Qui-Gon communing lost anything.
You can't play a Luke.
You know what it is.
Yeah. You can't play Luke. You can play, but you can play the Anakin Skywalker Jedi Knight, which interesting trade-off.
Yeah, it's still a solid deck. Like I think all 3 communings will be represented at nationals.
I know Jeff Levine signed up, and he likes Qui-Gon commuting.
Loves Qui-Gon commuting and AOBS.
And AOBS. So pack your stuff for AOBS. I don't know. Okay. Let's talk another deck that's seeing some play here and there. Let's talk Thrawn. I know that we've talked Thrawn to death and everything over the while, but it recently did get an errata. The Lothal system got its light side icon back. What do you think about it? Like, we'll start with Garrett, even though Batmouse just recently played it.
I mean, I think Thrawn is appropriately rated. I think Thrawn is a good deck right now. I think everybody knows it's a good deck. The only thing that keeps me, and you and I talked about this last week, the only thing that keeps me from saying Thrawn's going to win nationals or Thrawn's going to be the most represented dark side is there's a lot of good dark sides out there right now. And Thrawn, for as good as it is, plays a very straightforward game.
Yeah.
You know when you sit across from Thrawn pretty much what they're going to do. And if you can build a deck that disrupts that, Thrawn's going to struggle to adapt versus something like a CCT that's pulling a card every turn and has a lot more toolbox flexibility. And that's what I think. That's honestly, I think the only downside to Thrawn is I think it's a very straightforward deck type. And you know what you're going to see. And as a player, you know what you're doing on your next turn right away because it's pretty straightforward. So, but I think it's appropriately rated. It's a solid tier 1 deck, and I enjoy the theme of it, and I enjoy the gameplay. Like, it's a fun deck. It's a good deck.
Okay, Mr. Top 8, what do you think about Thrawn?
I like that. I obviously like Thrawn. Thrawn does what I love to do, and that is stay away from you on the ground. Because light side is all about the Jedi and fully immune, choppy lightsaber Jedi, and all that good stuff. And $100 cards that just don't do anything to you if you can't get to me. So I'm gonna stand inside my Star Destroyer, and you're not gonna get to beat me up.
Okay.
So tier 1 is exactly where it is, and that's completely spot on. It's not overrated, not underrated. It is perfectly rated. Thrawn's a good deck, and I'm very surprised that I played it because it is a good deck that everyone plays, and Batmouse does not like to play what everybody else plays.
Not wrong. I think Thrawn. I don't think it's as powerful and as scary as people say it is. I didn't think it was as powerful and as scary as people said it was before. When the dark side had, the dark side system didn't have the light side icon. I think it was a fine deck. I think it is beatable. I think it is a tier 1 deck. Yes, but at the same time, dark side has other options, and we even said maybe a few of them. I could say another few. CCT, AOBS, people like Hunt Down V. Like I said, there's so many other decks out there besides Thrawn. But at the same time, yeah, it's a good deck. Is it fun? I like it. I mean, Thrawn's one of my 3 favorite characters in Star Wars. Why would I not play it? But I don't play it. I don't know why. Maybe because I don't play Star Wars anymore.
I've seen you play Star Wars before.
Yeah, I've lost a lot, though, this year.
Not when you listen to me.
Who are you again?
You played Y40. You just played Y40. Oh, apparently I'm Mr. Top 8 now, so.
Hey, maybe. Okay, next deck we're going to talk about is the other side of Thrawn. Let's talk about Zero Hour. I mean, it's still around. Batmouse, what do you got on 0 Hour?
A lot of heartache. 0 Hour is a good deck. The erratas, to try and slow it down, really knock it down on everybody else's list and let everyone kind of bounce around to other decks. But it's a good deck, man. I don't know. There's just so many things that it doesn't let you do. Like everybody is a big fan of playing Jedi. Well, you can play your Jedi, they just cost you more. So in a deck that's trying to be fast to spread everywhere, that extra cost really just kicks into your bottom line. I would put 0 Hour at tier 1.5 because you get, it is fast, it does have a lot of tricks, it can do everything that it needs to do, and it drains for free, which is always a big key for me. If you don't drain for free, I don't really want to put you in tier 1.
Says the guy who plays Y40.
And I have never said that Y40 is tier 1.
True.
I just think it's good because, again, I don't want to be where you are. There are other ways to play this game, and Batmouse has figured out how to win sometimes with those.
Mostly in constellations.
I mean, I'll take a trophy where I can get a trophy.
True. I agree. Okay.
And I think Batmouse is right about perfect on that tier 1.5. I think 0 Hours maybe a little bit underrated just because you're not seeing it as much. I think a lot of people migrated off of it after some of the errata and then the Skywalker Saga decks and
QMC
now the OB communing, QMC with the watering holes. I think people just moved away from 0 Hour, but I still think 0 Hour is a really good deck. I think 0 Hour is probably a little underrated because it is a little bit hard to play. Like the thing with 0 Hour is if you play it wrong or you're not careful, you can get caught with your pants down real badly.
Mm-hmm.
And you can feel really bad at the end of that game that you don't necessarily get with other games. So I think 0 Hour gets played a little bit less and got pulled out of where people were thinking top tier because it has that ability every once in a while just sort of make you look silly.
Yeah.
And that pulled it down. So I think it's slightly underrated. Good deck, very playable, but it's light side and there's other options that are a little less trick based sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like 0 Hour. I've had some good success with it. Like, I played it, I want to say, at the Yavin 4 regionals last year, coming in second. Like, and I mean, I was blowing out people left and right with it because it was not expected. Now, being that it is an expected deck, like, people see what's going on, and it received all those erratas. Is it still as good as it was? Is it good as it was? No. Is it still a good deck? It's a fine deck. Like, would I bring it to a tournament? Maybe. Like, just because I like those more. I like to play more of like a tricksy type of a light side deck versus a I'm gonna fight you with Jedi type of a deck. That's just who I am. That's what I like. So, I mean, it's a good deck. I think it's a 1.5. Like, I think the best decks for light side right now are the ones that we said: QMC, Skywalker Saga, and Communing. Like, there's a reason why you're seeing a lot of those decks on GEMP right now, because they're solid decks. But there are people who like 0 Hour, and I still think they're going to be playing it.
So one deck, I'm going to throw you off script just a little bit.
Bring it.
Because it popped into my head when we were talking about Profit. One deck that I don't think is on the list that I think moved way up the over-under with the addition of a gift is We Have a Plan. I think with a gift making Decree much less valuable, WAP moves right up that tier list, because if you're not playing Decree, that direct damage starts to hurt bad. So I think WAP, to Robbie's chagrin, I think We Have a Plan is still tier 2, but I would definitely want to have a plan for against it, because I could absolutely see it coming up as a surprise deck, because if you're not running Decree Virtual, WAP can give you some pain.
Batmouse, what are your thoughts on WAP?
I WAP is tier 2.0 because it has a hard time paying for drain. So obviously it gets a downgrade there. WAP, when Batmaul got hurt, shot way up my board. I honestly don't know why it's not further up other people's boards.
Mm-hmm.
You cancel battle lessening. You increase your defense value. You have a centralized location that they have to come and fight you, or they're just going to start eating it over and over again. WAP is a really good deck if you can figure out how to make it pay for its own drains. If you do that, like, it's real hard to beat WAP at that point. And it also caps it allows you to play resistance without having to spread to 3 locations.
Mm-hmm.
That's massive. And I do like a gift's impact, a gift-B's impact radiates to other decks that need it to get rid of Decree. Like, even things that are sitting back and just like a hidden base that wants to play counter assault. With Decree V in the meta, doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's a good point. And so I'm gonna be going off of WAP for a second. I'm gonna agree that WAP is a 2.0 right now. I still think it is right where it's at. Like, I don't think it's underrated at all. And the reason I'm saying that is because it has a very good natural predator right now in the Revenge of the Sith Maul deck. Maul Lone Hunter is really good against Queen Amidala. And if they can go early with that lone hunter down to your throne room and hold that throne room, you don't have an answer. The fact that you can cancel Queen Amidalla's game text, you have protection against blaster deflection, you can't modify their weapon destinies, and you can swing twice and maul lone hunters defense value +2, fully immune against your Jedi. What do you do? Like, you hope that they swing at Amidala because you have at least, you probably are playing I think I can handle myself. But at that point, though, I don't have an answer. And being that there are a lot of people playing that variant of, like, I've seen more Maul Lone Hunter Revenge of the Sith than I've seen Dooku and Vader. And I think it's because people are realizing Lone Hunter is really, really good. So, but I do agree with the point that you made, Garrett, that WAP having a decrease in the people that play Imperial Decree V. First of all, I feel bad because Imperial Decree V got an AI. That AI looks sweet. Second, it is a good card against WAP. I also think that, like, the sand effect is more important, and cards like Dark Time for the Rebellion, Tarkin's Orders, it helps as well. Yeah, Imperial Decree is needed, but I think those are more important. But I mean, WAP has issues with Bring 'Em Before Me. It has issues with that Maul Lone Hunter. It has issues with Court, and I can see people playing Court now. I mean, Court and CCT kind of give WAP an issue. Like, it does have an answer. Now, would I like to see WAP come back? Yes. And don't get me wrong, I know Fox. Help me out here, guys. Fox. On
Fox,
or Commander
what?
Fox. Huh?
Star Fox?
I'm not sure.
Steven DeVos.
Oh, okay.
He recently won the regionals over there in Europe with WAP. And I think the reason is because WAP actually has an advantage against Thrawn. Like, if you think about it, WAP has a really good matchup against Thrawn. You're fighting inside. They don't lack any weapons, or they don't have any weapons, and you can do 4 points of damage if you can spread out your Amidala and your Panaka. You have Jedi who are draining and draining and draining. And you even have a decent little space package. If you can throw down the Queen's Royal Starship, or Rick in the Queen's Royal Starship, plus a Plo Koon, you have a fully immune ship, and you can cancel their battle destinies. Like, and Steven, like I said, he played it right. He played the Coruscant, the episode 1 Coruscant. So you just dropped the starship there. Thrawn has all of its starships over at Kashyyyk and Lothal and Kessel and all those high parsec numbers, and they can't get to Coruscant.
Nope.
So,
yeah,
I would just like to remind everyone that Dan has to lose a horse.
What else is new? Is it a day that ends in Y?
Dan loses a force.
Then yeah,
Yep.
Dan loses a force. Would I like to see WAP come back? Yes. WAP has it's been a very pet friendly deck for me. But at the same time, I know a lot of people don't like WAP. I know a lot of people don't like WAP. And because it can be a negative playing experience. But it's funny because I know like the new allies, they're playing Invasion. Invasion kind of does the same thing. So I definitely think we're going to see a lot of different decks at Nationals. And it's only 2 weeks away.
Yeah, it's coming up quick.
So
You guys should pre-register for it. That ends tomorrow. You want your swag.
There you
Get
go.
it done.
Pre-register.
Come out and see
You know-
me. Come out and maybe see Batmouse.
Yeah, maybe see Batman.
You won't see me. You'll see me if you watch it on stream.
Come out and see
because,
Chris.
Yeah. See Hall of Fame
You know,
Chris Schoenthal, who was in
Our
the
Yeah,
still our
Schoenthal.
newest Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
Chris Schoenthal. Like, you can come hang out with us.
Just make sure you bring all your LA Dodgers gear.
Definitely.
Chris loves the Dodgers.
Just huge Dodger fan, everyone.
Yeah.
Huge.
You know
he
what?
really is.
You know what? I think what we need to do is get Chris a specialized Dodgers jerseys with his name on it.
I think he would love
do.
that.
I think he would. He's also on the New Allies, by the way. So he's actually thinking about playing at some point.
Well, he
I think
hasn't been
what we
playing
need
out
to do
here.
is, I think what we need to do is convince the New Allies to all get matching Dodgers jerseys.
Well, I mean, you've got Mike Kessling who won't allow that. He's an Atlanta Braves fan. I don't know.
Yeah,
I know a guy. We'll see what we can do.
Okay.
Get New Ally, as a gift from the Killer Bee to the New Allies. I think I might just have Dodger jerseys with New Allies written across them.
I love it. Okay, so I think it's that time, Garrett. Are you ready? I know we didn't do it last week, but we're going to do it this week.
All right.
It's going to be a card challenge, and this week you're going to be doing what card is underneath this V card. You will have 45 seconds to figure out what card is underneath the V card. Batmouse,
Yes.
you will not be helping.
Okay.
Garrett, your help will be coming from someone in the chat.
All right.
Do you have Twitch open right now? You do.
I do have Twitch open right now.
Please announce who you want your partner to be.
The Rook. You want the Rook?
It can be anybody in the chat except for me.
All right. Well, then let's cheat a little bit. And I'm going to go with Jared Napolitano. He's my phone a friend.
Is
this
he in
one.
the chat?
He was.
He
I can't see who's
he has to
currently
be in
in
the
it.
chat right now.
All right.
And yes, you can see who's in the chat right now.
That would probably involve knowing how to do stuff on Twitch. So
All you got to do is click the little thing at the top that says it's a little guy at the top.
is that the little community button?
Yeah.
Oh, that gives us our viewers, huh? Oh, wow. All right. Well, then, obviously, Greg Gergel.
Greg, are you there?
I mean, I want to take a, I'll take any advocate I can as my phone a friend.
You trust the advocates. Okay. No response from Greg yet.
All right. Well, let's just roll it.
And
I think
Jared.
I'm
Okay, you know what? If you don't get a response from either of those that I've said, you will have after 10. Once we get to the 10-second point, Batmouse can be your phone a friend.
all right.
Wait, what did I do now?
You're his phone a friend.
You're my phone
Okay,
a friend
I'm the
if the
phone friend.
advocates don't show up.
Okay. Are you ready? Your card
ready.
is Maz Kanata. Your timer starts now.
God, I just pulled that one out
I
not that
know.
long ago too.
And you played it at Worlds. That's why I picked this one.
I did.
15 seconds gone.
She's not electro binoculars, is she? I thought it was something to. I thought there was some sort of joke with the views, or with their eyes.
15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm gonna go electro binoculars. Final answer,
Batmouse,
but
you're
I feel
officially
like
his
that's not right.
phone a friend.
I'm gonna concur in electro binoculars. At least I think it is.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You finally won one, Garrett.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
See, I know some things every once in a while.
Once in a while.
Good job, team. Good job, team.
Wait, that's why you're top 8, Anthony.
Yeah.
You're top 8 in my heart.
Top 8 in your heart and top 8 in the books today.
Yep.
Are we sure about that?
At least
He's got
week.
one book he's top 8 in.
Yeah, what book is that?
The Gem PC 7th Annual.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Okay,
Bookie.
everybody.
All right.
So I think that's all the time we have for tonight. So I want to thank, again, Anthony and Garrett for coming on. Next week, again, we'll be trying to spotlight some of the stuff that's going on with Nationals. Hoping to get in some of the players that are going to be playing in the Retro event, because I know that's going to be very popular. And then in 2 weeks, we'll be shifting from Tuesday to Friday live at Nationals. So until then, everybody take care. Everybody take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, may the force be with you. Good night, everybody.